channel. In this session, I am going to discuss CBSE Class 9 Chapter 10 Gravitation NCERT Textbook Exercise Questions and Answers Part 2. If you like this video, please like, share and subscribe to our channel. Please share your valuable comments in the comment section. Okay, let us go to the today's session. First one. Question: gravitational force on the surface of the moon is only one as strong as gravitational force on 6 the earth. What is the weight in newtons of a 10 kilogram object on the moon and on the earth? Here in this question, why the gravitational force is changing on the moon and on the earth he is asking. So here we have to calculate what is the weight in newtons of a 10 kilogram object on the moon and on the earth. We will discuss now. Let us go to the solution. Here given m is equals to 10 kilogram, that is mass, and mass is same on earth and the moon. Why? Because mass is a constant quantity. Now weight of the object on the earth, that is equals to m into g. G E nothing but gravitational force, that is acceleration due to gravity, 9.8. So mass, substituting values, mass and g, 10 into 9.8, it becomes 98 newtons. Now we are calculating weight of the object on moon. Weight, that is equals to m into g. Here we have to calculate g earth is equals to g by 6 moon. So that's why here we have to take 9.8 by 6. So 10 into 9.8 by 6, that is equals to 16.3 newtons. So here we have to remember that g earth is equals to, now we have to calculate g moon. G moon is equals to g earth by 6. This is the relation. So gravitational force is decreasing on the moon, but it is fixed on the earth, that is acceleration due to gravity, nothing but acceleration of a freely falling objects on the earth, that is 9.8. On the moon it is goes on decreasing. How much it is decreasing? Nothing but g by 6 it is decreasing. So that's why here we have calculate 10 into 9 by 9.8 by 6. So that is equals to 16.3 newtons. So this is the weight of the object on the earth and weight of the object on the moon. Okay, on the earth 98 newtons, on moon 16.3 newtons. Okay, now we'll go to the next question. A ball is thrown vertically upwards with a velocity of 49 meters per second. Calculate maximum height to which it rises, the total time it takes to return the surface of the earth. Now let us go to the solution. Here given initial velocity u is equals to, they given us 49 meters per second, and maximum height we have to calculate. So acceleration a is equals to vertically upwards, it is minus g minus 9.8 meter per second square. Velocity at highest point, here v is equals to 0. When a body reaches its maximum height, at that time final velocity is equals to 0. So velocity at the highest point velocity at the highest point v is equals to 0. So if h is the maximum height reached by the ball, then first here we are calculating first one. Now we are calculating maximum height. So from the equation, the third equation, that is 2gs is equals to v square minus u square. So here h is the maximum height reached by the ball. So s is equals to, in the place of s we are writing h. So h is equals to v square minus u square by 2g. Now we are calculating, first substituting values u, v, g in this equation. Then now we are substituting v, u and g values in this. We get h is equals to v square nothing but 0. So h is equals to 0 square minus 49 whole square by 2 into 9.8 minus 9.8. So that is equals to minus 49 into 49 minus 19.6. Minus gets cancels. So h is equals to 122.5 meters. This is maximum height. Thus the ball will reach a height of 122.5 meters. Okay, now we will calculate second one. Now we are calculating total time. So the first equation of motion, v is equals to u plus gt. V nothing but 0, u they given as 49, g minus 9.8 into t. So minus 49 is equals to minus 9.8 into t. Minus gets cancels. T is equals to 49 by 9.8. Decimal representation we are writing 490 by 98. That is equals to 5 seconds. 98 1 ja, 98 5 ja. So t is equals to, we are getting 5 seconds, and total time is equals to 2t. Total time is equals to 2t. So that is equals to 2 into 5. 2 5 is 10 seconds. So total time is equals to 10 seconds. Okay. Now we'll go to the next question. In this question, a stone is released from the top of a tower of height 19.6 meters. Calculate its final velocity just before touching the ground. Now let us go to the solution. Here a stone is released from a top of a tower of height 19.6 meters. So body starts from rest. So nothing but u is equals to 0. Its initial velocity, u nothing but initial velocity, that is equal to 0. Height they given as, height of a tower they given as 19.6 meters. G acceleration due to gravity 9.8 meter per second square. Now we have to calculate final velocity. So v square minus u square is equals to 2gs, or v square minus u nothing but 0 square, that is equal to 2gh. So v square minus 0 square, v square is equal to 2 into 9.8 into h 19.6. So v square is equals to, this can be written as, this is also 19.6 and this is also 19.6. So 19.6 whole square you can write. Squares get cancels. So last v is equals to 19.6 meter per second. So therefore the answer is, final velocity v is equals to 19.6 meters per second. Okay, now we'll go to the next question. A stone is thrown vertically upward with an initial velocity of 40 meters per second. Take g is equals to 10 meter per second square. Find the maximum height reached by the stone. What is the net displacement and total distance covered by the stone? Now we have to calculate here maximum height, displacement and distance. Let us go to the solution. Given u is equals to 40 meters per second and g is equals to minus 10 meters per second square, and v is equals to, whenever the body reaches the maximum height, its final velocity is equals to 0, and we had to calculate height. From the third equation of motion, v square minus u square is equal to 2gh. Now substituting values, 0 square minus 40 whole square is equals to 2 into g, nothing but minus 10 into h. For h is equals to 40 into 40 by 20. 2 10 ja 20. So 0 gets cancels, 2 ones 2 twos. 40 into 2, 80 meters. Okay, now first we calculated height is equals to maximum height reached by the stone is 80 meters. So therefore h is equals to 80 meters. Now next, as the final position of the stone coincides with its initial position, so net displacement is equals to 0. Whenever the initial and final positions are same, then displacement is equals to 0. So displacement nothing but the shortest distance between initial and final point. Here there is no difference between initial and final points. Initial and final positions are same. They are coincide with the same initial position. So that's why displacement is 0. Now total distance covered by the stone is equals to h plus h, that is 80 meters plus 80 meters. So 80 plus 80 how much? 160. Okay, total distance is equals to 160 meters and the net displacement is 0 and height we calculated as 80 meters. Okay, next we will go to the next question. Calculate the force of gravitation between the earth and the sun, given that the mass of the earth is equals to 16 into 10 to the power of 24 kilogram and of the sun is equals to 2 into 10 to the power of 30 kilogram. Average distance between the two is the given as 1.5 into 10 to the power of 11 meters. Now let us go to the solution. Here we have to calculate the force of gravitation between earth and sun. Now the given mass of the earth is equals to, given mass of the earth is equals to, mass of the earth they given as 6 into 10 to the power of 24 kilogram and mass of the sun they given as 2 into 10 to the power of 30 kilogram. Distance between the earth and the sun is, that is r is equals to 1.5 into 10 to the power of 11 meters. Thus gravitational force between the earth and the sun is given by the force F is equals to GME, that is GMM by R square. One that is earth, mass of the earth, another one is mass of sun by r square. So that is equals to 6.67 into 10 to the power of minus 11, and mass of the earth 6 into 10 to the power of 24, and mass of sun 2 into 10 to the power of 30 by r square 1.5 into 10 to the power of 11 whole square. So that is equals to, after calculation we are getting 3.56 into 10 to the power of 22 newtons. This is final answer. So thus the earth and the sun attract each other by a gravitational force of 3.56 into 10 to the power of 22 newtons. Okay. Next we will go to the next question. Thus the earth and the sun attracts each other by a gravitational force of 3.56 into 10 to the power of 22 newtons. Now next we will go to the next question. 17th one. A stone is allowed to fall from the top of a tower 100 meters high, and at the same time another stone is projected vertically upwards from the ground with a velocity of 25 meters per second. Calculate when and where the two stones will meet. Here the given as height 100 meters, height of the tower. Here top of a tower, height, that is height of the tower is 100 meters. Let the two stones meet after t seconds at a point P, which is at a height x above the ground as shown in the figure. See here, observe this figure. This is the first stone 1 and stone 2. Now suppose for example here in this point two stones are meet each other. Now first we calculated the for the stone 1. For stone 1, u is equals to 0, initial velocity u is equal to 0, and h is equals to 100 minus x meters, and a is equals to g, that is equals to 9.8 meter per second square. From s is equals to second equation ut plus half a t square. Now substituting values, s nothing but h height, that is 100 minus x is equals to u nothing but 0 into t plus half, a nothing but 9.8 t square. So 100 minus x is equals to 0 into t 0, that is 2 ones to 4.9. So 4.9 t square. This is equation number 1. Now next for stone 2. For stone 2, u is equals to 25 meters per second, and h is equals to x, a is equals to minus g, that is equals to minus 9.8 meter per second square. Now from the second equation of motion, s is equals to ut plus half a t square. So x is equals to 25t plus half minus 9.8 t square. So that is equals to 25t, here 2 ones to 4.9 minus 4.9 t square. This is equation number 2. Adding equations 1 and 2. Now we are adding equations 1 and 2. So 100 minus x plus x is equals to 25t. Here 4.9 t square, 4.9 t square gets cancels. Now we are minus x plus x gets cancels. So t is equals to 100 by 25. 25 1s are 25 4s are. T is equals to 4 seconds. Now substituting t value in equation 1, from Equation 1. 100 minus x is equals to 4.9 into t square. In the place of t we are adding 4 square. So 100 minus x is equals to 4.9 into 4 square, nothing but 16. So 100 minus x is equals to 78.4. X is equals to 100 minus 78.4. So x is equals to 21.6 meters. Okay, this is the value of x. Now we'll go to the next question. A ball thrown up vertically returns to the thrower after 6 seconds. Find the velocity with which it was thrown up and the maximum height it reaches and its position after 4 seconds. Here time of ascent is equals to time of descent, that is t is equals to, here they given us 6 seconds. So after a ball is thrown up vertically, returns to the thrower after 6 seconds, that is time of ascent is equals to time of descent. So t is equals to 6 by 2, that is equals to 3 seconds. Now first we will calculate velocity with it was thrown up. So v is equals to 0 and a is equals to minus g, that is equal to minus 9.8 meter per second square. Now from v is equals to u plus gt. So substituting values 0 u minus 9.8 into 3. So u is equals to, we are getting 29.4 meters per second. Now second one, v square minus u square is equals to 2as. Here we are calculating height. V nothing but 0 square minus u 29.4 whole square, that is equals to 2 into minus 9.8 into h. So that is equals to, now h is equals to 29 point whole square, nothing but 29.4 into 29.4 by 2 into 9.8. So after calculation we are getting 44.1 meters. Now t is equals to 3 seconds. The third one is C. T is equals to 3 seconds. Ball is at maximum height from S is equals to ut plus half a t square. So that is S is equals to, here we are calculating equals to 3 seconds. The ball is at maximum height. So here t is equals to 3 seconds. Ball is at maximum height. Then from the second equation of motion, from S is equals to ut plus half a t square. So h is equals to u nothing but 0 into t total, t is equals to, here anything into 0 plus half into a value nothing but g nothing but 9.8 into t square nothing but 1 square. So here 0 into 1 0, 2 ones 2, 4.9 is 4.9 into 1 4.9. So 0 plus 4.9 meters. So that is h is equals to 4.9 meters below the top. Okay, so at t is equal to 3 seconds, here ball is at the maximum height. So now we are calculating height as 4.9 meters below the top. Okay, next we will go to the next question. In what direction does the buoyant force on an object immersed in liquid act? Here, if an object is immersed in liquid, then buoyant force due to liquid acts on the object in vertically upward direction. So, buoyant force acts vertically upward direction in an object immersed in a liquid. So, in what direction? In vertically upward direction. Buoyant force acts vertically upward direction. Okay. Next we will go to the next question. Why does a block of plastic released under what comes up to the surface of water? Here the buoyant force acting on the block of plastic is more than its weight. So as a result of this, it comes up when released under the water. So the cause of this larger buoyant force on the block of plastic is due to its density being less than the water. So based on the less density, it is coming up, nothing but it is floating in water. So which the objects which have less density, they will comes up, and which have more density, they will sink in water. Okay. Now we'll go to the next question. In this question, the volume of 50 gram of a substance is 20 centimeter cube. If the density of water is 1 gram per centimeter cube, will the substance float or sink? Here, the given substance float or sink we have to calculate. Now let us go to the solution. Density of water is equals to, they given as 1 gram per centimeter cube, and mass of substance they given as here 50 grams, and volume of the substance they given as 20 centimeter cube. Density of the substance D is equals to m by V, that is equals to 50 by 20. 0 0 cancels, 2 ones 2, 2.5. So that is equals to 2.5 gram by centimeter cube. Next, as the density of the substance is greater than that of water, so the given substance will shrink in water. So the density of water is 1 gram per centimeter cube, and the density of given substance is 2.5 gram per centimeter cube. So which is greater, the density of substance is greater, so that's why it is sink in water. Okay, next we will go to the next question. In this question, the volume of 500 grams sealed packet is 350 centimeter cube. Will the packet float or sink in water? If the density of water is 1 gram per centimeter cube, what will be the mass of water displaced by this packet? Now let us go to the solution. Here given mass of packet M is equals to 500 grams, and volume they given as 350 centimeter cube. So density D is equals to m by V. Mass per unit volume denotes the density. So substituting values, mass 500, volume 350. So 0 0 gets cancels. After division we are getting 1.428 grams by centimeter cube. Okay. Since the density of packet is more than the density of water, so the packet will shrink. As the packet is fully submerged in water, mass of water displaced by the packet is equals to volume of the packet into density of water. So that is 350 centimeter cube into 1. 350 into 1, nothing but density of water is 1. So 350 grams. So mass of water is 350 grams. Okay. Thanks for watching this video.